Hey guys, welcome to another boss ranking. This time we're gonna go with Evilwest. This game has a total of 4 main bosses and 7 mini bosses, and I decided to rank them all from worst to best. At number 11, and by far the worst boss in this game, we have the Ivecrone. This boss is unbelievably annoying. He just keeps flying everywhere, throwing things into the middle of the arena that will explode if you're nearby. He also is throwing red bees at you constantly, and he creates a force field to every single enemy in the arena. For you to kill him, you have to hit 2 times those 3 things flying around him, and that is not enough. Every time you do that, he just starts flying away from you, and while shooting bees constantly, and you have to hit him in the center to make him fall and be able to finally do some damage on him. This is the only boss in this game that I consider incredibly bad. I really hate facing him. Number 10 we have the Gaster, which has one thing going for it. He looks like the Sentinels, at least he reminds me of the Sentinels from the movie Matrix. But that's pretty much it. Like, the boss has 2 attacks. In one of them he throws like a bean at you, and the other one is just basically takes the lights out of the arena. A very simple boss that is pretty boring. At number 9 we have Karinusk, which is the first boss from the game. And I might be wrong here, but I think this might be the only boss in the entire game that I never died to. So I guess one of the main reasons why I put him here, it's because I just find him extremely forgettable. At number 8 we have the Leecher, and there are 2 things that stand out in this boss. One is that he has a shield, and I think it's the only boss that has one. And second is that he has a head that reminds me of the Xenomorphs from the movie Alien. As a boss itself, though, this boss is pretty boring. He has like 2 attacks, so I definitely cannot rank him any higher than number 8. Number 7 we have Goro, which is in my opinion the first average boss on this list. It's not like he has lots of attacks or anything, but I do like when he goes underground and just tries to surprise us. And I also like the fact that in this fight, besides the boss, there's also a few flying enemies. So there's a little bit of challenge in this fight, which is always good. At number 6 we have the Stalker, and I'm not gonna lie, when I got to this boss arena I really thought I was gonna fight a giant spider. It's not the case, but I think the Stalker is pretty alright. Unlike all the other bosses so far, he has a little more than 2 attacks. And I really like the attack when when he crouches and you see the targets on his back and you have to be really fast shooting it, or he's gonna throw webs at you and you won't be able to move much, to create a little bit of pressure on the fight. And I gotta say, the arena is absolutely gorgeous with all the spiders everywhere. I really like it. At number 5 we have Peter Dabano, and this is the first good boss in this game. He comes very early in the game, and I love the way he looks. I love the arena full of blood on the floor. His attacks are also really cool, especially the one where he heals everything. Everything is just so visually spectacular in this fight. I just wish he was a little bit harder, not gonna lie. And I wish they didn't repeat the boss over and over through the entire game. I wish we only fought this boss once and that's it, because this is a really fine boss. Number 4 we have Brutch, which is our first main boss, and there's so much to like in this fight. First of all, the boss looks absolutely phenomenal. He's very scary looking. The arena is absolutely gorgeous with all the vampires surrounding you and the churches and everything. It is absolutely stunning looking. And the fight itself, it's also pretty challenging. Like, he has melee attacks, the range attacks, he makes copies of himself, and he has this really funny attack where I don't know, at least I find it funny because it seems like he's throwing cornfields at you. And I don't know, man, I think it's a very fun boss, and besides all the good things I said about it so far, it's also a challenging one. I did struggle quite a bit on this one. At number 3 we have the Parasiter, which is the first main boss on the game, and as soon as I entered this fight, the first thing that came to my mind was the movie Trevor's, because the boss looks very much like the creature in that movie. Besides that, this is a very fun fight and a very fast-paced one, and the sound design on this fight is also incredible. Every time the boss attacks, you feel it, and it's super cool. I also really like the attack where he slams against the tree and you have to look at the floor to avoid the things that are falling. This is a super fun boss. I really like the Parasiter.
Oh, okay.
At number 2 we have William Brent here, and this boss has a lot of impact on the story because you're basically fighting your own father. If there's one thing I'm not the biggest fan on this fight, is that I wish they would change somehow the appearance of his father, because he does not look scary at all. Other than that, this fight is absolutely amazing. He moves extremely fast, it's a visual spectacle. It's the first boss that after you beat the first phase, if you die, you start on second phase right away because the difficulty ramps up like crazy. This boss is way harder than anything else you ever fought before. But my favorite move from this boss is when he does copies of himself and you have to react really fast and hit the targets before he hits you, or the copies just stay there. It's a spectacular fight beginning to end and a very easy pick for number 2. And the same way William Rentier is an easy pick for number 2, it's a very easy pick for number 1. Felicity was the expected final boss in the game and it delivers in spades. It's an absolute masterpiece of a boss. Like every single phase in this fight is truly incredible. The arena is out of this world, the boss design is amazing, the difficulty is sky high, and honestly, I think it's one of the best final bosses I've ever fought in a game ever. Felicity 100% deserves the number 1 on this spot from this amazing game, and if you haven't played it, I would really recommend it. It's a lot of fun.